Hello nerds and nerdettes, welcome to NerdCaveGames. My name is Brian and today we'll be completing the Prince Ali rescue quest in old school Runescape. For this quest you will need an arrangement of items, so I'm just going to run through each of them pretty quickly. If you are a regular account you can just buy all of these from the GE, however if you're an Iron Man account you're going to need to know where to get these. Now I will list everything out in the description so you can just go through that list or just listen as I explain them. So you're going to need soft clay. For this you're just going to take regular clay and add some water to it to create soft clay. For the pot of flour, you're going to need to take some wheat, go to the mill in Lumbridge, and make your pot of flour. A bucket of water, you just take a bucket to any well and you get your bucket of water. 3 balls of wool, you're going to need to shear 3 sheeps in Lumbridge. Take the wool to the spinning wheel on the second floor of Lumbridge to make all of these. A bronze bar, this you can make by smelting. A piece of copper ore and a piece of tin ore. The 4 beers, you only need 3, however, chances are you're going to accidentally drink one. So those 4 beers can be purchased at the Varrock Blue Moon Inn. Rope you can get by taking, I believe it's 15 coins to Ned. I'm not exactly sure the specifics, but in Lumbridge, the general store, you can pay him and he'll give you rope. And you can also take him balls of wool, but I'll link that in the description. An Amulet of Glory, this will just be used to teleport back and forth because it can teleport you to Draenor Village and Alcarid, which are the 2 main places you're going to need to go to. You're also going to need some yellow dye, and this I'll link in the description, but basically you take 2 onions and you bring them to Hetty in Draenor Village and she will make you some yellow dye. Red berries can be found south of Varrock, all the way there'll be a red berry bush. The pink skirt you can purchase in Varrock at the clothing store, and you'll need ashes, which you can get by burning a log and waiting till the log finishes burning and you get ashes. If you don't have a glory necklace, you're going to need a couple hundred GP to actually get into Alcarid. If you have a glory necklace, you just have to teleport, but if you don't have a glory necklace, you actually have to pass in and out of this gate. If you don't know where Alcarid is, it's just east of Lumbridge Castle. You cross the bridge, there'll be 2 toll guards. These 2 toll guards will charge you about 50 GP to get into the city. Reason for this is kind of to validate the reward of the actual quest, which is basically getting rid of that charge. But before that, you're going to need to pay them every time you want to get into the city, and you're going to have to travel in and out of the city a couple times throughout the quest, so just have enough GP to get you in and out. So to begin the quest, we're going to talk to Hassan, ask him if he needs any help. He's going to direct you to Osman, who is outside. Once you have found Osman, you're just going to let him know that you can help him, and he will let you know what you need to do. Alright, so now we're going to teleport to Draenor Village, or you can just run there. However, you have an Amulet of Glory, this is going to save you a lot of time. Alright, once you're in Draenor Village, you're going to want to head northeast, and you can find Leela walking right around underneath this wheat field. Alright, once you're done talking to Leela, she's basically going to explain to you need to have a costume made, so you're going to want to head west into Ned's house, where you can also trade him for rope if you don't have any, and you're going to talk to him and ask him to make you the wig. Alright, next you're going to head west of Ned's house into the witch's house, Aggie, and you're going to ask her to make skin paste, and if you have 2 onions and you don't have the dye, you're going to want to talk to her about making the dye. So once you hand her the materials, she's going to make the mixes together and give you some skin paste. Alright, next you're going to use your yellow dye with the wig to get a yellow dyed wig. Next you're going to want to east into the small prison area. Be careful of the guards, they will attack you, and you're going to want to talk to Lady Kelly. Let her know that she's famous all over RuneScape. Then you're going to ask her about her latest plan. Then you're going to say that she's very skillful. And then you want to ask if they are sure that they're not going to try to let him out. Ask her if you can see the key. Ask if you can touch the key for a moment. And you'll make an imprint of the key. Alright, next you're going to want to teleport to Alcarid and talk to Osman. Osman will then take your bronze bar and make the key. Next you're going to head back to Draenor Village and talk to Leela. She's going to give you a copy of the key. Now you're going to want to head back into the prison and be careful about the guards because you do not want to die. The best way to do this is to make sure you close the prison door so that way the guard outside doesn't attack you. Alright, once in here you're going to talk to Joe and continue offering him the beers. Alright, now that Joe is no longer a problem, you're going to use your rope on Lady Kelly, tie her up and put her in the cupboard, and then you're going to use your key to open up the door and save Prince Ali. Now all you have to do is travel back to Alcarid and claim your reward from Hassan. At this point, it is free to pass through the gate, so you no longer have to pay the 50 GP, and you're rewarded with 3 quest points and 700 coins. And that is going to do it for the Prince Alley Rescue Quest. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions, other things, make sure you leave those down below as well. You can find me on all the social medias, which will be linked in the description. I'm going to leave you guys here. Remember to get out there, do your best and successful follow, and have a super fantastic day.